Test. Testing. Testing. There we go.
Good evening and welcome to another evening of Blue Dragon basketball here in the Dragon's Lair of Garretson, South Dakota. Starting off our doubleheader tonight, we have a girls contest between the Garretson Blue Dragons and the Beresford Watchdogs. Beresford is getting announced right now, so I will get those starting lineups to you in just a second. Prior to this girls contest here, girls varsity contest, the girls JV games did play at about 4 o'clock today was tip for them. And the Garretson JV girls were able to come away with the win in that game. Also playing a little bit earlier were the boys C team for Garretson and Beresford and the boys JV for Garretson and Beresford. And while the Garretson girls won the JV contest, that sub-varsity contest, the Beresford boys won both of their sub-varsity contests, taking down the Blue Dragons on their home court. All right, so we do have our starting lineups here. They are set, they are ready to go. We're almost ready for tip. We've got Beresford wearing some really classic looking purple uniforms outlined with gray and then white. And then we have our home team, the Garretson Blue Dragons, in their white jerseys with accents of blue and yellow on there. Starting lineups for the Beresford Watchdogs, we have number 10, Savannah Beeson, a 5'4" junior guard. Also a 5'4" guard, 8th grader, number 11, Ella Merriman, will be in to start the contest here for the Watchdogs. Rounding out their starting lineup, number 15, Lacey Mockler, a 5'6" senior guard. Number 22, Kara Niles, a 6-foot senior forward. And number 30, Harley Koth, a 5'9", 8th grade forward. So lots of height on that team down low with a 5'9" and a 6-footer in their starting lineup. But also having two solid 8th graders in the starting lineup is pretty impressive here for the Beresford Watchdogs. Beresford was able to come away with a stop on that first possession. Ball goes down low to Harley Koth, pops it back out to number 15, Lacey Mockler for the ball. Scramble for the rebound. Beresford comes away with the offensive rebound. Finds number 15, Lacey Mockler. Gets fouled on that shot attempt. Basket is good. Foul is on senior Maya Long. The starting lineup for your home team, Garretson Blue Dragons, is senior and junior heavy, with all 3 seniors on the team starting, as well as 2 juniors to round out that starting lineup. Number 5, Jalen Benson, taking the ball up the court. Then we also have number 23, Lily Ranshaw, and number 12, Maya Long, as the seniors for the Blue Dragons. Turnover there as Benson tried to find the cutter. Maya Long gets dinged with her second foul here pretty quickly. We'll see if head coach Matt Schrank decides to pull her or let her play with 2 fouls this early on in the game. We are less than a minute in. 2 fouls is not where we want Long to be there. Rounding out the starting lineup is number 25, Anna Jones, and number 10, Logan Bly, both juniors for the Blue Dragons, both sitting close to 6 feet. Anna Jones at 5'11" and with 2 points right there, and then Logan Bly at 6 foot. All 5 of these girls were also critical components to the girls volleyball team that took second at state this year, so definitely a lot of athletic ability here. Great lead pass by Logan Bly out to Lily Ranshaw for 2. So after a quick traditional 3-point play by the Beresford Watchdogs, we've got 4 points unanswered by the Blue Dragons. Another 2 points here. Perfect time for an announcer's curse as number 22, Kara Niles, went in. Sorry about that delay on that video feed with it. First time out, we are just under 2 minutes of play going on, and the visitors, Beresford Watchdogs, are up 5-4 over the Blue Dragons. Pretty even distribution for the scoring so far, but granted it is really early on in the game. Two athletes from both sides do have points to their name. Senior Lily Ranshaw and junior Anna Jones have 2 points apiece for the Blue Dragons, 4 points total. And senior Kara Niles has 2 points with that bucket she just made here before the timeout was prompted. And then senior Lacey Mockler has the other 3 as she hit an and one for the first points of the contest. Jalen Benson guarded really closely up the court. Ball gets knocked out of bounds. Turnover Garretson. Beresford goes ahead and takes that ball up the court. Garretson deciding to put on the press a little bit, maybe startle the Beresford Watchdogs. They've been a little bit too comfortable in that sets, and they have shown that they will be pretty aggressive here, so Garretson is hoping to rattle them a little bit. Great cut by number 10, Savannah Beeson. Beeson gets fouled on the attempt. Basket is no good, but she does go to the line for 2 points. Beeson puts up her first, hits off the back iron and misses. She does get a second attempt here. I want you to go to the SD Varsity Bound so you can look up their records. Beeson does miss her second, and Anna Jones comes away with that defensive rebound. Great lead pass to Lily Ranshaw. She got a little deep underneath the basket, kicks it out to Maya Long, swings it back and forth. Logan Bly comes cutting into the lane as Niles gets a hand on that ball and deflects it. Lily Ranshaw does a favor and picks up a deflection and block of her own. Benson pops a 3 off the front of the rim. Rebound goes in favor of the Watchdogs. Great patience early on shown here by Beresford. They're doing a great job moving without the ball. Logan Bly is going to get tagged with a foul as she tried to block that shot. I want to take a moment to thank you, my resident statistician here, Colton Buckles. Colton is doing his best to kind of keep track of fouls and rebounds and points for me as it gets to be pretty busy out there. Also, thank you to some of my photographers out there, photographers and videographers. We have Calix Buckles and Case and Chester working some of the camera tonight. And I wouldn't be surprised if Coyer Buckles came in. Kara Niles goes ahead and hits both of her free throws to extend the lead to 3. Still a one-possession game, especially with the three-point prowess that Garretson has shown throughout the season. But no rush as we are only at 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Only 3 minutes have passed as Long goes ahead and shoots a 3 and nails it. And just like that, game is tied at 7 points apiece. Ball goes up by Mockler. I think Anna Jones is going to get tagged for this foul. Five fouls already for the Blue Dragons in just over 3 minutes of play. That's not going to sit very well as they're going to have to get pretty deep in their bench pretty early. Mockler hits her first. Subbing on for the Blue Dragons, we have number 20, Reagan Altman, number 24, Sydney Olson, and number 14, Jordan Williams. Combination of a junior and 2 seniors as Ranshaw, Bly, and Jones all take a seat. Mockler hits her second free throw. Ball goes forward from Benson to Altman. Altman swings it over to Williams, who takes a little jab step but kind of gets it ripped away from her. Stays with it, though. Causes the jump ball action. Ball should be going in favor of Beresford as Garretson did get that tip. You have to get that other sandwich first.
Oh, I thought you...
Yeah, 2 sandwiches.
One.
Yep, 2 sandwiches, please. Beresford is coming away with the rebound again, once again getting that offensive look, that second offensive look.
We're 9 and 7, they're 8 and 8. We're 9 and 7, we're 8 and 8.
So far it's proved to be a pretty even contest as Beresford has typically been holding the lead. Garretson tied it up a few different times and had a slight lead when it was 4-3. But we're expecting a pretty close matchup here. Garretson 9-7 after my long goes up for 3 and hits for 3. So 2 for 2 from beyond the arc for long. And there is Coyer Buckles running the camera for us, so thank you to my first grader who is willing to do that. Oh, inadvertent whistle. Play is going to go ahead and resume here. Beresford's going to get that ball on the sideline. But like I was saying, it should be a pretty even matchup and has looked to be so far early on in this contest, as Garretson was 9-7 coming into this contest. Garretson did win the Big East Conference Championship, both Beresford and Garretson members of the Big East Conference. Garretson won the Big East Conference Championship, seeded number 3, and took down number 6 Chester team, number 2 Sioux Valley, and then number 1 Flandreau. So they ended up 9-6 after that big three-win swing. And then had a tough loss in overtime against McCook Sancho Montrose last week, Thursday. Just not playing on all cylinders and kind of let that one get away from them a little bit. So 9-7 is where Garretson is sitting right now. Beresford, much like them, 8-8, where they came through where they needed to a few different times, and then fell short just a few times where you thought that they were going to be successful. So I'm expecting a pretty good back and forth matchup here. Looks like another jump ball was called. Lots of back and forth here between these two teams. Definitely going to need to protect that pumpkin a little bit. Ball swings around to now ball is with Mockler at the top of the key. She drives it in, kicks it down to Koth. Koth loses the handle on it, gets it over, and Long takes it. Long passes to Williams up ahead. Williams goes in and gets fouled by Niles. Williams will be sitting at the line shooting 2 of her own. Williams pops and shoots for her first. And is good. We have 2 subs coming on for the Beresford Watchdogs. Number 35, Autumn Naminga, and number 2, Ireland Fickbon. Both juniors for the Watchdogs. Williams connects on her second, perfect 2 for 2 on that free throw attempt. Nice to see that she's going to go ahead and take advantage of that. Watchdogs bring it up the court uncontested. And then Benson goes ahead and steals it away. Looks for an opportunity to convert, but does get called for an offensive foul here. She must have pushed off just a little bit, displacing that defender. Both the offense and the defense are allowed position on the court, so you can't displace that other one. We've got another 30-second timeout coming here. 30-second timeout was called by Beresford as they probably want to set. Garretson was showing press, so they're probably going to look at some sort of press breaker attempt in this one here. So head coach Scott Ebert talking over the strategy here with the Lady Watchdogs, as head coach Schrank is also probably making a few modifications to his press. So they're maybe going to flash one of their press options and then go ahead and set up in a different one on after the timeout here. Just a 30-second timeout, so buzzers rang twice. Both girls are breaking. We've got white v purple on the court. Looks like Logan Bly's going to take her spot in the backcourt. Ranshaw and Olsen are sitting midline with Altman and Williams in the front court. Beresford is going 4 straight across with Niles bringing it in. Beeson brings it up the court. Slight pressure, but nothing major. Olsen looks to trap in a 2-3 zone. Ball gets swung down low to Naminga. Great ball movement by the Watchdogs. Niles went to cut. Beeson saw her open, but didn't read the cut quite fast enough. Turnover Beresford. Ball goes in favor of the home team. Sophomore Jordan Williams takes the ball up the court and just settles in. Lets the offense kind of come to. 35-second shot clock, which is plenty of time to kind of go through there. They collapse on Bly as the ball gets entered down low. Gets it out to Williams. Williams finds Ranshaw on the baseline, and Ranshaw connects for 2 points. Altman goes ahead and puts on the pressure on Beeson. A little back and forth between Bisa and Niles, and they finally find Merriman over on the other side of the court.
I'll let you just take it.
Ball getting swung around all over the place. Beresford does a great job of moving without the ball and using a lot of the shot clock here. Merriman takes a shot from 3 and connects. 3 points for the 8th grader, who has shown great composure so far this season. Williams passes it forward to Ranshaw. Ranshaw gets pushed from behind by number 2, Ireland Fickbaum, 5'6" junior guard. Checking back on is Mockler. Gonna go ahead and take a seat as Beeson. Currently, the Watchdogs are about 7 players deep with their 5 starters and 2 coming off the bench. Garretson is similar, 8 players deep, 5 starters and 3 off the bench. Olsen turns and uses that left hand strength, does get called for a shooting foul, and she is able to get up on the line. Foul goes against number 35, Naminga. Olsen connects for her first free throw. Olsen, a lefty sophomore, so kind of takes players by surprise right away. Ball bounces off the front of the rim, the back of the rim, and then out as Beresford gathers it and pushes it up the court. Like I was saying, Olsen is a lefty, which kind of takes players offhand for a little bit because they don't realize that she's going to be so strong. So they typically guard somebody, assuming the right hand is their dominant hand. And Olsen will just take a little stutter step or turn over to that left-hand side and find a great way to put it in. She's an aggressive post player for sure, but definitely has those strong guard skills as well. Athletic tip by Ranshaw to get that ball out. Steal by Altman. She's unable to connect on that steal, trying to get those extra 2 points, but will settle in at the free throw line. Second foul against Fickbaum in not very many minutes of play, just over 30 seconds to play still here in this first quarter. Altman hits for her first. Checking into the game, Harley Koth coming out, Fickbaum. Altman consistent on her routine at the line, puts it up and sinks another one with nothing but net for that second free throw, taking advantage of the free throws. Ball entered by Bly, being taken up the court by Williams. The shot clock is off as we are sub 35 seconds left in the game. Ball gets swung over to Altman. Garretson should show patience unless there's a clear opening. Olsen does take the opening as Ranshaw found her and flashed, but that will give Beresford the last look of the quarter if they want to choose to use it as such. Ball swings around to the corner, goes over to Niles. Niles puts it up hard off the glass. Williams fights for that rebound. Pass gets knocked away by Niles as she has not given up on that play. Ball will be inbounded at about the half-court line with 4 seconds left to play. 4 seconds doesn't seem like a lot, but that is actually enough to give you a few dribbles, move a few feet, and then go ahead and get a pretty clean look off if you are aggressive enough. Waiting for a flash maybe from Altman over on that other side. Williams takes a look at it, takes a few dribbles, gets past the free throw line, falls just short as she rushed the shot a little bit. At the end of the first quarter, we have the home team, Garretson Blue Dragons, 17. The visiting Beresford Watchdogs with just 12 points. Leading the scoring for the Beresford Watchdogs so far is Lacey Mockler, the senior guard, with 5 points. Also rounding out the scoring here, you have Kara Niles, another senior, 6-foot senior down low with 4. And then Ella Merriman, the 8th grader, hit that 3-pointer right at the top of the key. Leading scoring for the Blue Dragons is senior Maya Long as she drained 2 3-pointers, both of them pretty much in the corner. And then it looks like Lily Ranshaw has 4 points. 2 points apiece go to Jordan Williams, Reagan Altman, and Anna Jones. And then Sydney Olson connected on one of the free throws for that 1 point for her and 17 points for the Blue Dragons. Another 8 minutes set on the clock. And it looks like we have Beeson, Merriman, Mockler, Niles, and Koth, all of our starters back out on the court for the Beresford Watchdogs. Starters also all back on the court for the Garretson Blue Dragons. As it looks like we have Benson, Bly, Ranshaw, Jones, and Long. Beresford doing a great job pressing the issue, pushing that ball forward, but Garretson hustling back on that defensive side. Merriman with the ball up on the top, finds Koth. Koth takes a few dribbles around, closely guarded by Anna Jones. Jones finds Merriman again. Merriman gives it over to Beeson. Beeson dribbles into the lane. Ball gets deflected out of bounds by Bly. 8 seconds left on the shot clock, but it's going to stay in Beresford's possession. Niles, the inbounder, looking for an open teammate, finds Mockler. 4 seconds left on the shot. Ball gets thrown away. Benson with the steal. Benson goes and tries to take it coast to coast. Just short off of that corner, but ball does stay in Garrettson's possession as Beresford knocked it out of bounds. Pretty atypical of Benson. She's usually pretty consistent on those free throws and does a great job absorbing that contact a lot of the times, but this time displaced just enough to alter the shot. Once again, having to fade away on that short jumper. Missing, and Beresford coming down with that rebound. Looks like all players from Beresford are comfortable handling the ball. Comfortable taking it wherever it needs to be. Bly with another block. That's got to be at least her third of the night. I'm getting a confirmation from my statistician that it is her third block of the night. Niles goes ahead and brings it in, finds Merriman. Merriman puts it up. No good. Rebound goes to Anna Jones. Jones to Bly. Bly finds Ranshaw, who takes the jumper from the baseline and goes just long. Ranch's going to keep the pressure on Beeson. Beeson kind of pushes the issue and ends up throwing it away. Ball back in Garrettson's possession. Lots of back and forth basketball here between the Garretson Blue Dragons and Beresford Watchdogs. We have moments where both teams look really solid, really steady, and then we have other teams where it just doesn't look like they're quite on the same page with the rest of their teammates. Benson in a little bit of trouble as she picked up her dribble at three-quarter court, finds Ranshaw way on the end, and Ranshaw gets fouled on her attempt. Ball inbounded to Jones. Jones closely guarded by Beeson. Jones finds Bly. Bly pops from three and goes ahead and hits there. Don't let her length and size fool you. She is just as deadly from beyond the arc as she is when she is in the paint. Tough player to guard all around. Merriman closely guarded by Jones. Niles pops from three. Ranshaw comes down with the rebound. Garretson pushes the issue as Beresford has to backpedal. Long a little bit deep in the corner, finds a flashing Ranshaw, gives it back to Long, who takes it in. Another strong lefty move as Maya Long, one of the other lefties on this Garretson team, converts for two. That is Long's 8th point of the game already, as Garretson leads 22-12 with just under 6 minutes to play. Garretson doing a pretty decent job on the boards, cleaning up when they can, but they're definitely taking advantage of the unforced errors that is happening for Beresford. It seems like every time that Beresford is turning that ball over on that possession, whether it was through an errant pass or that goes out of bounds or one where they just don't anticipate the Blue Dragon defenders. The Blue Dragons have typically either scored or at least found their way onto the charity stripe. So great job by Garretson Blue Dragons being aggressive and going ahead and taking an advantage of those free opportunities and those extra possessions. Likewise, Beresford has done a great job in that rebounding column as they are pretty darn aggressive throughout the game, and I anticipate that they're probably going to stay that way. Breaking from the huddle right here with 5:46 to play, you've got Garretson in a 10-point lead over the Blue Dragons, or I'm sorry, over the Watchdogs. Ball is inbounded by Beresford, and there is a press put on by Garretson. But typically they just kind of add that little extra pressure, nothing too major on their press. Nothing too pivotal yet, but as the score gets closer, they'll definitely up that ante. Ball goes back and forth between the Watchdogs, and it looked like Fickbaum was able to convert for 2 points. Long lead pass from Ranshaw to Jones. Jones finds Long, dishes it over to Bly. Bly takes another look from three. That one too much. Beresford comes away with the ball.
I need to go into the coach's room and in my reffing bay.
Garretson continuing to play strong and responds after the Beresford points as Ranshaw connects for two. And then also hits her free throw for the traditional three-point play. Double dribble called against the Watchdogs, ball going in Garrettson's favor. Subs coming on for the Blue Dragons. Pressure here by Merriman on Williams. Ball does get over to Altman, but Schrank does not look like like he liked what was kind of going on there. A little bit of miscommunication on Garrettson's part as some subs did come in at that last break. Took quite a bit of time to get across that half court, using almost all of their allotted 10 seconds in the backcourt. Found it obviously just in time in order to make it worth it. Spread of the game right now is 11 points, staying there pretty consistently, somewhere on either side of that minimal double digits. But both teams really playing hard here in the second quarter. We'll have to see what adjustments are made at the halftime. Currently right now 25-14. So nice pace for the Blue Dragons, as right now they're on pace to score over 50 points, which is always great to see. But I would anticipate that we'll get a better look at how that will play out as we round out this second quarter, because as there's still 4 minutes to play, 4+ minutes to play in the half. Ball inbounded by Oslin. Finds Williams at the point. Williams swings it over to Altman. Currently on the court for the Blue Dragons, you have Altman, Olsen, Long, and then Kylie Christensen seeing her first action of the night. Sophomore forward, but Christensen also, like Bly, one of those players that can kind of play anywhere on the court, as well as Olsen. Ball gets thrown away. Beresford comes away with it. Fickbaum passes it to Merriman, who wrangles it in. Merriman finds Koth in the corner. Mockler and Sarah Ebert are the other two watchdogs on the court. Christensen and Mockler get tied up, but Christensen was able to manage to pull away from that. Gives it to Olsen, who finds Williams. Williams looks ahead and finds Long. Long converts for 2 points. Garretson keeps that press on, forcing the forwards to have to handle that ball at least a little bit. Trying to trap just past that half-court line. Suppose you would a little bit more likely to get that 5-second call at the half-court line than the 10-second call in the backcourt. Altman comes down with the rebound. Williams pops for 2, makes it. Another timeout here by the Beresford Watchdogs. Looks like it's probably going to be a full timeout by Coach Ebert. So getting a little bit deeper in the bench as this lead spreads a little bit. 16-point game. Like I said, sophomore Kylie Christensen is in. Definite strong flex player, as is Sydney Olsen, sophomore Sydney Olsen. Currently on the court for the Blue Dragons. I wouldn't anticipate them going much deeper than that in the game so far. Probably waiting until the fourth quarter to find a little bit further in the bench. At least recently that's been about as far as Coach Schrank has gone. But, you know, things are always subject to change, but the Blue Dragons are playing well, and it's nice to have that deep of a bench where you can feel like you can give your players the appropriate breathers and still build those skills for some of the younger players when they start earning their varsity court time a little bit more. Just like the Blue Dragons are 9 players deep currently in their bench, the Beresford Watchdogs are 8. Attempt at a steal by Christensen. She is able to knock it out of bounds. Beresford has to take it from the side. Fickbaum passes it to Niles. Niles launches from 3. Rebound goes to Altman. Probably one of the shorter players on the team, but definitely one of the most aggressive. Altman tries to find a cutting Olsen. Definitely sees her, but pass is deflected. Lots of chaos kind of ensues. Altman ends up with the ball and is going to find herself at the charity stripe again. Altman with 2 dribbles, spins it in her hands, 2 dribbles again, releases and connects. Bly coming to check back in, going to go ahead and give Long a rest. Like I said, pretty consistent routine. 2 dribbles, a spin, 2 dribbles, spins it in her hands and hits. Don't change something that's working. Altman 4 for 4 from the charity stripe today. Beresford breaks the press pretty easily, but Christensen comes up from the block from behind, and Logan Bly gets a block on the front side when Beresford grabbed their offensive rebound. Williams inbounds it to Olsen, swings it over to Bly. Bly to Altman in the corner. Ball goes up, good lefty shot by Olsen. But Beresford comes away with that rebound. Like I said, they come away with quite a few of those. They're just not really converting and finishing on their possessions. I think the moment they start doing that, that is going to be the difference maker in this game. Checking back on for the Watchdogs, it looks like we have number 11, Merriman, and number 35, Namiga. Ball gets thrown away after a little bit of work on that inbounds pass. Bly comes away with it, finds it to Altman, and Altman brings it up the court. Altman swings it to Bly. Bly finds Williams in the corner. Got Olsen working down low, but it's more of a 4-spread offense right now with just that flash coming in. Ball gets rotated around with the Blue Dragons. They've done a good job with ball movement today, not knowing who's going to take that shot. Good left-handed move by Sydney Olsen. Converting for 2 points, extending the lead to 19. Ball gets thrown away by Beresford as Benson comes to check in for Altman. Great few minutes of play by Reagan Altman. Shot attempt by the Blue Dragons goes hard off the backboard. Beresford comes away with it. Merriman pushes the issue, comes up just short on that layup attempt, taking it on that left side. It was a good look as the right side definitely had a few more defenders on it. Bly launches from 3, hits. Trying to put the Watchdogs away early on. I don't think that's going to happen with this team. If you're 8-8, you're scrappy and you stay in games, that's for sure. So expecting some adjustments to be made. Williams comes away with the steal, though, and looking to go coast to coast. Nice, easy layup. Everything Williams does, she just makes it look so easy and pretty effortless. A very talented athlete, not only on the basketball court, but also in track and in soccer. Looks like Olsen's going to get pinged with Olsen's going to go ahead and get pinged with a foul, even though Mockler was the one who was worried about where she was at, just got maybe a little bit too closer. He's right in what he did. Mockler comes away with that rebound. Going to find herself on the line again. Like I said, it's that gritty tenacity that keeps you in the hunt in all of those different games. Mockler showing her strong senior leadership for the Watchdogs. Struggling on the free throw line, though. She has had the opportunities right now and not converting, as she converted early on when she was put out there. That one short. Long comes away with the rebound. Long pushes the issue up, finds Benson. Benson takes it, and they go ahead and set their half-court offense. Rancha behind the back pass, kind of, or over the head pass, back to Benson as the ball gets swung around, tipped. Beeson comes away with the steal. And Niles takes it up court. Beresford looking to take advantage of those last few seconds, but an unsightly travel as Anna Jones kind of ties up the attempt a little bit, gives ball back to Garretson. 6.7 seconds left, plenty of time to get all the way coast to coast and get a good look. Altman inbounds it to Benson. Benson quickly and closely guarded. She finds Jones down low. Jones unable to finish. And Garretson goes into halftime leading by 24 points, 38-14 over the Beresford Watchdogs. This is an excellent time for you to go ahead and stretch your legs if you are here at home. Grab something to eat, something to drink, and we will be back here in just a few seconds for a breakdown of some of the stats that we have for both teams here, and then a look at what is to come for both Garretson Thanks for joining us here out in Garretson, South Dakota, as we have a contest, Big East Conference contest between the Beresford Watchdogs and the home team, Garretson Blue Dragons, in the Dragon's Lair of Garretson High School. Halftime score is 38-14. This contest started off really tight for almost the entirety of the first quarter. End of the first quarter, score was 17-12. So yes, a 5-point lead, but really those 17 points, the majority of those kind of came in the end, and Beresford either held the lead for the majority of that first quarter, and Garretson had to kind of fight from behind, got a few good connections and a few turnovers that fell in their favor, and were able to make that swing, and then just kept that momentum the whole way through that second quarter, holding Beresford to only 2 points on the night, with Garretson, or 2 points in the quarter, with Garretson going ahead and putting up 21 for that second quarter. So an impressive output by the Garretson Blue Dragons. Looking at the matchup here, we have Lacey Mockler, number 15 senior guard for the Beresford Watchdogs, leading the way with 5 points out of their 14. 6-foot senior Kara Niles has 4 points. 8th grader Ella Merriman has 3 points, and junior Ireland Fickbaum has 2 points to round out the 14 points for the Beresford Watchdogs. Beresford much like Garretson, only has a few games left on their schedule. They are coming off of a really great win against Alcester Hudson, 46-44. So definitely close contest, and they know how to kind of battle. They had 3 tough losses against Flandreau, Sioux Valley, and Vermilion, and Garretson can absolutely feel their pain, as Garretson has played all of those teams and found varying success. First time Garretson played Flandreau, it was not even close. I think Flandreau blew Garretson out of the water by 20-some on Garretson's home court. Sioux Valley, Garretson did come away with a victory, but it was a tight victory, and that was in the semifinals of the Big East Conference Championship. And then Vermilion, Garretson did travel down to Vermilion earlier in the year, and much like Beresford, was unable to come away with the victory on that one. But Beresford did get back in the win column, looks like on the 5th, which would have been last Saturday, with a 46-44 victory over Alcester Hudson. Playing here tonight in the Dragon's Lair, and then host Elk Point Jefferson on Friday of this week. Then to round out their schedule, they've got 2 games next week, and then they sit quiet until postseason play, where they will play, looks like the Hanson Beavers on Monday, February 14th, and then the Lenox Orioles on Tuesday, February 15th. So that's kind of what it looks like to round out the schedule for the Beresford Watchdogs girls basketball team. I'll see if I can find my way over to Garretson here, but Garretson putting up 38 points in the first half. Great output by the Garretson Blue Dragons to kind of find their groove after a little bit of a slow start and some strong pressure by the Watchdogs. So leading Garretson in scoring, we have senior Maya Long with 10 points on the night. She's got 2 threes and 2 twos, doing great, just working all sorts of the court. Also contributing in that scoring column, both Jordan Williams and Lily Ranshaw have 7 points on the night, getting 1 point on the charity stripe and earning the rest from the field. Logan Bly has 6 points on the night off of 2 3-pointers. And then Reagan Altman, perfect from the charity stripe, as she has hit all four of her looks. My cameraman, my little first grader, is giving you a good look at the 3 seniors of the Garretson Blue Dragons this year. You have the banners in the gym. So one side we have the girls basketball team. On the other side we have the boys basketball team, which we will get to next game here. But Maya Long, Lily Ranshaw, and Jalen Benson. Rounding out the scoring, though, for the Blue Dragons is Sydney Olson with 3 points, and then Anna Jones with 2 points. Anna had some of the first points on the board for the Blue Dragons, but has been quiet ever since. Looking at the rest of Garretson's schedule, they have double headers from here on out. They have the doubleheader tonight where they host Beresford. They host Elkton Lake Benton on Saturday for an afternoon matinee. Game time is set to start at 2:15 for the varsity girls, and then the boys will follow, so probably sometime around 4:30 or so. And then on Tuesday the 15th, they host Parker. So another conference matchup there, and then they end their season with another conference matchup. They go to Sioux Valley, and I'm sure Sioux Valley is going to look for revenge. I'm sure Sioux Valley is going to look for revenge as Garretson upset them in that conference game, and is a pretty solid team. They're sitting at 11-5 so far this season. So looking to be a pretty strong selection for the Blue Dragons. They have an opportunity to really get some quality wins under their belt before the end of the season, and kind of change around some of those rankings too, as the girls look to see how they shape up in a really tough Region 3A. Currently leading in the Blue Dragons district, like I said, they're in Region 3 right now, is the West Central Trojans. They have been on a tear this season with 16-2, and also with a very solid team this year is the Sioux Falls Christian Chargers, who are sitting at 13-3. Then neck and neck and kind of jockeying for that third and fourth position is Garretson and Tri-Valley. Both teams are sitting at 9-7. Tri-Valley did knock off Garretson early in the year in a game that just really wasn't looking that great for the Blue Dragons, and obviously great win for the Mustangs, who have turned out to be a pretty quality team, going 9-7. So that one's pretty critical as you think about it as we finish out the season with that 9-7 teams with a 3-4 matchup. Because, granted, no one wants to have to play that number 1 seed when you get to that point. So obviously you have to win the first game first, that first round first. But that number 4 seed would have to play number 5 in the first round, but then they go on to play that number 1 seed, or I guess the number 8 seed if that's where it would fall. But Garretson is sitting in that nice number 3 seed, so currently they're slated to play the McCook Central Montrose Cougars, and then hopefully if they would be able to come away with a win over MCM, MCM has, as they have taken down the Dragons once before, but if Garretson can pull it off in the region play, they would then go ahead and face number 2 Sioux Falls Christian. Not to say that is really going to be any easier than West Central, because Sioux Falls Christian consistently puts out big competitive squads. A little bit of a rivalry going between Garretson and Sioux Falls Christian, just with the volleyball season fairly fresh still. This year it was Sioux Falls Christian and Garretson, both representing Region 3, both qualifying for the state tournament, seeded number 1 and 2, and did face each other in that championship match. And Sioux Falls Christian did come away with the victory, so congratulations to the Chargers. But granted, like I said, we need to finish off this season first, play these games, do all you can to secure the wins, and get yourself in the best placing possible. And then deal with the region matchups when they come. In order to get to state, you just got to win them all. It doesn't matter who you play. So that's definitely the approach that I'm sure Beresford and Garretson will take as they enter the last few games of their season, as both of them only have 3 and 4 games left. Long shoots from 3. Bly comes away with the rebound. Great pass by Benson to Ranshaw. Ranshaw hits 2 points from the paint. Nice, easy layup. Putting on the pressure here, wanting to kind of extend that lead and give some more opportunities. Merriman, great job handling the ball, finds Mockler. Ball is redirected by Bly. Bly finds Ranshaw, and they decide to go ahead and set up in their half-court offense. Mockler comes away with the steal. Koth comes away with the steal, and Merriman finishes it for 2 points. 5 points on the night for Merriman. Ranshaw pressured. Pretty much gives it up for a jump ball. Not a lot of effort right there. as she got stuck and didn't have a lot of help coming to her. So not necessarily Ranshaw's fault for picking up the dribble there as she was pressured. Would have liked to see a little bit more movement by the Blue Dragons in order to help out their teammate. Important thing for young viewers to remember is that just because you don't have the ball doesn't mean you can't make a difference. So moving without the ball is so important for success, just to get yourself open and make things difficult for the defense. Niles drives in, takes it, tries to go up. Bly fouls her and pushes her from behind. Niles is going to settle in for 2 free throws here. I think so. Niles connects on her first, waits for the official to inbound her second, hits that one as well. Niles with 6 points on the night for the Watchdogs, sitting at a third of their points. Ball almost stolen by Koth, but it's rebounded nicely by Jones. Ball eventually finds its way to Long, and Long finishes in for 2 points. Once again, thank you to my statistician, my 5th grader, Colton Buckles, who's kind of keeping track of everything for me. And then my videographer at times. My videographer at times is my 1st grader, so trying to see how long he can hold his attention as he's trying super hard to stay involved, but also, you know, still be a kid. 3-pointer good by Niles. Garretson turns over the ball. Watchdogs have it in their possession again, just close to the timeline. They go ahead and get it across, and Jones pokes that one away. Ball inbounded by the Watchdogs, and they move around. Koth goes ahead and takes it, looks to kind of do a sidearm kind of shot. Anna Jones comes away with a rebound, passes ahead to Benson. Benson tries to find Long deep in the corner. Long swings it over to Williams. Williams tries to reset, but is pressured hard by Merriman. Gets it over to Long, who finds Benson. Benson to Williams back at the top of the key. Long going to launch from 3. Just a little strong as it goes off of the back iron. A fight for the rebound. And it goes off of Beresford, stays in Garrettson's control. Checking on for the Watchdogs, you have number 35, Autumn Naminga, and number 2, Ireland Fickbaum. As Anna Jones takes it along the baseline and converts for 2 points, doubling up her total. Subs coming on for Garretson as well. Sydney Olson back in. They find Olson in the corner. She launches from the baseline. Offensive rebounded by Benson. She takes it down for dribbles. I think if she would have just went straight up with it, she maybe would have been able to convert. But 3-point is good from Jordan Williams. Beresford keeps trying to go ahead and shave that down. Niles responds with 3 points of her own. Beresford starting to heat up from the court a little bit. Fickbaum going for the steal, comes away a little shy. Benson now going to launch from 3. Little strong Niles with the rebound, finds Koth. Koth is pushing it up the court to Fickbaum. Fickbaum hard off the glass, but gets the kiss and gets 2. Ball thrown away by Garretson.
wants to go in. Yeah, he was there earlier. Let him just go in. It's not worth the fight.
Checking back on for the Blue Dragons is Bly. Olsen pulls down for the rebound. Williams brings it up court. Looks to see if there's any opportunities. Finds Ranshaw down low. Ranshaw gathers, but not quite in position as she was a little deep underneath. Fickbaum goes ahead and takes it. Pushes off and gets dinged for an offensive foul. Beresford coming in and going to go ahead and put on the pressure. Also checking in for Beresford, number 25, Sarah Ebert, number 10, Savannah Beeson, and number 15, Lacey Mockler. Garretson settles in their half-court offense. Altman with the ball currently, swings it over to Ranshaw, who has it on top of the key, finds Olsen in the middle. Reagan Altman punches it from outside. Garretson battles for the rebound, but it falls in favor of the Watchdogs. Pressure by Altman on Beeson. She's not going to make it easy. They give it back to Niles and then swing it across. Mockler has it down in the paint. Williams leaves her just a little bit. Looks like she was probably able to alter the shot. Beeson fights for the rebound, gets it back in Beresford's favor. I think Garretson just kind of assumed that we were coming away with it and stopped trying. Niles too strong off the glass, and Williams grabs that rebound and takes it herself. She passes it forward to Bly. Bly finds Ranshaw way deep. Sydney Olsen gets fouled at the corner of the free throw line. That is the third foul, I believe, of the second half for the Watchdogs. Second foul for Namiga, though. Olsen taking it, spins left, followed by Namiga again. That'll be her third. Olsen's going to find herself settling in at the free throw line. Sydney Olsen did make one of two free throws earlier today and converts on that one. Olsen takes a dribble, spins it in her hand, takes two more dribbles, releases, and is good for her fourth and fifth points of the game. Garrettson's allowing that first inbound pass, but after that, they kind of make it tricky and definitely makes Beresford move all around. Sitting at a 23-point spread right now between the Garretson Blue Dragons and the Beresford Watchdogs. Beeson finds herself wide open down low, and I think she was a little surprised at how much space she had as she completely misses the rim and the backboard. Ball goes up by Niles. Offensive rebound comes down in favor of the Blue Dragons. A little bit of joint effort between Sydney Olsen and Lily Ranshaw. Shot attempt by Jordan Williams is no good as it kind of rolls off the rim. Bly dinged as she gets a little bit of too much body, displacing Ebert. Both teams sitting at 3 fouls apiece. Here with 1:23 left to play in the third quarter. Looks like Long is getting herself set to check in. I'm going to guess that it's coming in for Logan Bly, as Bly does have 4 fouls. And that is her 5th foul. So Bly is going to have to sit for the remainder of the game. Did not realize that Bly was in that big of foul trouble, but 2 quick fouls right there kind of made her ill-fated. I think head coach Matt Schrank was trying to get her off of the court, and then in her attempt at defense on Mockler gets paused for a foul. So, like I said, 2 quick fouls by Bly. She's going to sit herself on the bench for the rest of this contest. So, 1:13 left in the third quarter, plus all 8 minutes of the fourth quarter. That is a big loss by the Blue Dragons, as she is a threat up top with a deadly 3-point kind of look, and then as well as down low by being able to finish down low. Lots of great length right there, but is able to push up on some of those defenders. Williams takes a shot from 3, barely any spin on the ball. Long comes down with a rebound. Finds Ranshaw. Ranshaw gives it to Jones down low. Jones grabs a streaking Sydney Olson. Jones gets the offensive rebound and the putback for 2 points. Jones sitting at 6 points on the night. Ball quickly passed to Ebert. Ebert gets it to Niles at the top of the key. And the Watchdogs see what they can do as there's a 25-point spread. Jordan Williams comes away with the steal, finds Olson. Olson followed by Beeson on the attempt, and will go ahead and settle in on the free throw line again. Olson is 3 for 4 on the night, sitting at 75%. We'll see if she can convert for these next 2 shots as well. Like I said, that announcer's curse comes into play right there as Olson misses that free throw. Sitting at 3 for 5 for the night. She'll take a dribble, spin, dribble 2 more times, and then go ahead and release here. A little short, but does get the shooter's roll as she had a nice finish on there. Sydney Olson also tallying 6 points on the night. Watchdogs get it across the timeline. Beeson, big skip pass over to Merriman. Merriman finds Beeson down low. Big size mismatch, and Ranshaw goes up hard and gets that block. Olson finds Williams. Williams over to Ranshaw. Ranshaw puts it up with time left on the clock. Beresford comes away with the rebound, and that is it for your third quarter. Score at the end of the third, 52-26, with Garretson doubling up. Garretson doubling up the Beresford Watchdogs. Here going into the fourth quarter. Teams are pretty even on their output, but Garretson scored 14 points in that quarter and Beresford 12 points. They went through a pretty hot streak early on, making a definite strong push, but we'll have to see how they kind of finish out in the quarter 4. If it reaches a 30-point mark, I believe it's what it is, that is where you kind of get into that running clock situation for these teams. I don't know if Garretson wants to put it into that point or if they want to be able to keep it within reach and have the girls play with everything. And I don't think that's probably even in the conversation. I think there's probably things that specifically the Blue Dragons need to work on in order to address the flaws and how they came up short in that McCook game. So they're trying to make a statement here and show that they are a strong team. They deserve that third spot in the conference. And likewise, Beresford, I think, is trying to end their season strong as well. Like I said, they've had a lot of talent here. And have just kind of fallen short and played a few tough teams late in their schedule. So started strong, and then those tough teams late in the schedule have made it kind of difficult to keep that momentum going. Like I said, tight game last Saturday against the Alcester Hudson Cubs as Niles goes up for 2 and falls just short. Long comes down with the rebound. In to start the fourth quarter for the Blue Dragons, you have Jones, who goes up for 2 points. You have Jones, Ranshaw, Christensen, and Benson. Oh, and Long as well. Merriman puts up 2 points down low for the Watchdogs. Tries to get through a whole bunch of Dragon defenders. Kylie Christensen has a clean block, but definitely gets Mockler with her body. But definitely gets Mockler with the body as Mockler settles herself in for the free throws. In the starting lineup for the fourth quarter for the Beresford Watchdogs is Mockler as she hits her first free throw. She'll be taking another look here shortly. Ireland Fickbaum. Let's just trying to see here and read these numbers. Kara Niles, Ella Merriman, and Harley Koth for the Watchdogs. Benson pressured by Merriman up the court, finds an open Ranshaw. Ranshaw fakes, drives baseline. Ball is kicked by Mockler. Almost in dangerous position of getting the official on that one, but coming up just a little ways away. Usually don't think of the dangers of officiating, but definitely if you are not in the right place or at the wrong place in the wrong time, that can happen. Loose ball scramble here. Kylie Christensen finds herself on the floor, but Beresford comes away with the ball. Ball goes over to Fickbaum. Fickbaum takes it up for the Watchdogs. Fickbaum swings it over to Mockler, who has been probably their most consistent player today, aside from Kara Niles. Great take by Merriman, and she gets a shooter's roll. Looking forward to watching that young athlete play for quite a few of the next few years, as like I said, she's only an 8th grader. Kylie Christensen wrangles a long pass by Jalen Benson. Swings it over to Ranshaw in the corner, and Ranshaw throws it away as she tries to find Anna Jones. Kara Niles gets her long arms in there and deflects it. Mockler goes back to Niles. Niles pops from just in front of the free throw line, and Christensen comes away with that rebound. Ball is passed back and forth with the Blue Dragons. I'm expecting quite a bit of patience here as they are in no rush to shoot or use that clock. Ranshaw does pop from 2 or 3. About right on that 3-point line and comes up completely short. Jones tried to go for the rebound, and Christensen tried to go for the rebound and instead gets a foul called against her as she reached and grabbed the arms. Ball moving up court, finding themselves in the corner. Anna Jones able to come away with the steal along the baseline, gives it to Benson. Benson finding bodies all over the place. No fouls called, making him play through it. Long goes to Jones. Jones fakes, gets it to Benson in the corner. Benson for 3, no good. Christensen comes away with the rebound, gets it to Ranshaw. Ranshaw with a tough putback to extend the Blue Dragon lead. Ball goes over to Merriman as she goes and looks for another shooter rolls. Just comes just a little bit short there on her attempt as it goes off of the front of the rim. Ranshaw tries to lob it into Jones and is just a little bit too strong on that attempt. However, she steals it right back on as Niles tried to pass it, trying to make the move and looking to get at least to the charity stripe. Ranshaw's going to go ahead and take a few free throws. She hasn't been to the line too much tonight. I know she was at the line once earlier for an and one opportunity in the first quarter, but that might have been about it for Ranshaw. First shot attempt hits the front of the rim and goes off as there's a huge line change all over the place for both teams. We see Jones, Olsen, Ranshaw, Altman, and Long in for the Blue Dragons. Williams comes and checks in for Ranshaw. For the Watchdogs, we have number 22, Kara Niles, number 10, Savannah Beeson, who has the ball currently. Ella Merriman now has swung the ball over on that left side of the court. Number 35, Autumn Naminga, and seeing her first moments of action, we have Macy Courtier, 5'4" junior guard for the Beresford Watchdogs. Big defensive board by Anna Jones, finds Reagan Altman. Altman brings it up the court and pushes it to Olsen in the corner. Olsen finds a cutting Anna Jones. She puts it up, and Jones will find herself at the free throw line. 4:26 to play here in the fourth quarter, and it is all but in the books. As one of my kids would put it, this game is done. We just need to finish it now. It would be quite the comeback if the Watchdogs could erase that 27-point deficit in 4:26 here. Jones misses her first and misses the second. Battle for the free throw. Rebound falls in favor of the Watchdogs as Williams poked it away from behind. Inbounds goes to Beeson from Niles. Beeson finds Merriman. Merriman swings it over to Naminga. Naminga gets it over to Courtier, who throws it away. Luckily, Niles is there to pop it and gather it in. Beresford goes ahead and takes that offensive rebound. Williams comes away with the steal and finds Altman on the streak out. Great defense by Merriman, and Beeson comes away with that ball. Beresford looking to continue to stay aggressive And it looks like there's going to be a foul against the Blue Dragons as there's a little bit of mess just past the timeline. Foul goes against Reagan Altman, number 20 for the Garretson Blue Dragons. And that is Altman's first of the night. Kylie Christensen checking back on for Anna Jones. Courtier inbounds it to Merriman. Merriman with a few crossover dribbles finds Beeson. Beeson to Courtier. Courtier to Naminga. Looks like Ebert is also back in for the Beresford Watchdogs. Beeson picked up her dribble, got kind of stuck. We have the ball now swung around to that deep corner. Shot goes up by Naminga. Big rebound by Christensen as she falls to the floor. Great sportsmanship by Naminga as she helps her up on that one. Naminga is getting pegged for the foul, and that is the 8th foul of the game. Garretson was in the bonus, but the previous foul was a shooting foul anyway. So that 7th foul, they didn't have to earn their second free throw. They were given to him anyway, but Kier Christensen is going to have to knock down the first in order to get her second. Christensen makes her first. Those are her first points in the scoring column. 5'9" sophomore for the Blue Dragons has started finding herself out on the court a little bit more frequently for the Blue Dragons over these last few games. Just a little double check right now with one of the officials and the book. Big thank you to Carrie Stoltenberg, who is our official scorer tonight, as Kylie Christensen settles in on the line. Christensen misses the next one long. Battle for the rebound. Olsen gets tied up with Courtier, and ball falls in favor, per possession arrow, to the Blue Dragons. Garretson and Beresford do not have to re-tip the ball as what happens in like the NBA G League or the NBA. Ball shot attempt goes to Jeepers. Shot attempt goes to Addie Fink, who had checked down for her first minutes of the game. Fink goes in for a rebound. Williams takes a three and hits it after 3 different offensive rebounds and a few really aggressive rebounds in play that was going on the court. But apparently it was just the ball and girls losing their balance with the ball, which does happen. It happens on the boys' side as well, where you lose your balance with the ball and it just happens. It's okay. So refs did not see a foul in actual contact, and they just called it and let the girls play it out. Altman was followed by Beeson over on the other end of the court. Subs coming in as it is still a 1-and-1 situation. It looks like fouls did get adjusted. It does say 7 and 7 here. Now that is the 8th foul. So for the 8th foul for the Beresford. So it looks like there was some adjustment needing to be made between our official scorer and our timekeeper. But it was addressed and taken care of. Altman hits her first and earns her second. Number 30, Addie Fink, looking to check on, but it looks like she's probably coming in for Altman. For Altman. Also in for the Blue Dragons are Taylor Benson and Ashley Harris. 2 talented freshman girls here. Altman nails her second, gets herself off the court, and gets Addie Hove on for Hove's first action of the game. Altman doing a nice job about taking advantage of the free shots at the free throw line. Number 24, Kendra Ellis, seeing her first action, gets kind of caught up by Blue Dragons in a 2-3 zone. Number 23, Lily Sievert takes a look. Addie Fink goes in for the rebound, throws it away, trying to get that ball in. We are sitting at a running clock right now as the score is 63-30. Christensen tips it. Courtier comes away with it. Ellis resets, and number 5, Cassie Tweet, looks for their ball falls for Courtier on that three-point line, 63-33. Taylor Benson takes the ball up the court for the Blue Dragons as they settle into that half-court offense. Benson swings it to Christensen. Christensen over to Harris. Harris finds Fink. Fink is quickly double teamed. Christensen has to try and save it and ends up throwing it away. Number 23, Lily Sievert, comes away with the ball and brings it up the court. Sievert swings it over to Courtier, and Courtier finds Ellis. Ball is still in Beresford's favor. Checking on for the Blue Dragons is number 51, freshman Courtney Rogic. Sitting down for the Blue Dragons, number 44, Kylie Christensen. Garretson sitting in a 2-3 zone defense, about 21 seconds left on the shot clock as Beresford has to kind of wrangle in an errant pass. Hove gets her hand on the ball. Fink knocks it away. Benson runs to follow and finish and does get it for 2. Watchdogs push the issue. Many of the girls on the court right now are the same girls who were facing each other earlier in the evening when the JV squads played each other. Garretson did come away with the victory despite it being a pretty close game for much of the contest. Sievert passes it over to Michaela Rolke. Rolke misses. Rogic comes away with the rebound but does step on the end line. 25 seconds left to play. Like I said, it is a running clock, so stops for everything, or doesn't stop for anything other than timeouts and free throws. Shot attempt by Ellis is no good. Ball, it does come back to the Watchdogs. Ellis tries to go up, loses the handle on it, falls to the ground. It looks like we get tied up between Ellis and Harris. Ball goes in favor of the Blue Dragons. Ashley Harris going to inbound at Taylor Benson. Benson just holds it, and the Garretson Blue Dragon ladies win 65-33 here in the first varsity contest of the doubleheader. Scoring breakdowns for the night, at least to the best of the ability. I lost my statistician as he felt like he had to go do his manager duties. My statistician, my 5th grader Colton Buckles, is also the boys basketball manager and is eager to leave a post with me to be able to hang out with those guys. So he is gone. So I have the best numbers that I can find right now. But leading the way for the Beresford Watchdogs in that 65-33 loss, Kara Niles had 12 points of the 33 for the purple and gray. Lacey Mockler and Ella Merriman each had 6 points. It looks, I apologize. Ella Merriman, I think I have down for 7, and Lacey Mockler with 6 points as we go through. Ireland Fickbaum connected for 4, and Macy Courtier connected for 3. For the Garretson Blue Dragons, on their way to a 65-point night, I think I have Jordan Williams with at least 12 points here. Jordan Williams with at least 12 points, and then senior Lily Ranshaw with 11. Also finding their way into the scoring column, senior Maya Long put down 10 points on the night, and Anna Jones battled it out for 8 points, with much of her points coming on offensive rebounds, which is where she has been very clutch for the Blue Dragons, very consistent for the Blue Dragons all night. Also finding their way into the scoring column, we have Sydney Olson, Reagan Altman, and Logan Bly, all with 6 points. Logan Bly not connecting or even taking a look in that second half, but she did foul out with about a minute left or so in the third quarter, so she had to sit for the final 9 minutes of the game. Jalen Benson also had 2 points on the night to round out some of that scoring in there. So great effort by the Lady Blue Dragons here in the first varsity contest, being able to follow up what their JV squad did for them and get another win on the night. So both of the girls' teams successful in their attempts in taking down the Beresford Watchdogs and defending their home court here in the Dragon's Lair. Now currently getting set, we have the boys' side of this doubleheader. You will see on the wall, as adjusted by my first grade videographer, we have the senior boys for the Garretson Blue Dragons, Caden Ockengay, Dylan Kent, and Isaiah Gannat. All good, solid, consistent contributors for the Blue Dragons, and expected to see lots of solid court time there. The boys this season, somewhat like the girls, has been a little bit up and down here as of late, and we talked about the scheduling for the girls earlier in this broadcast, where the girls round out their season with double headers, with tonight obviously hosting Beresford. On Saturday they host the Elkton Lake Benton Elks, and then on next Tuesday they host the Parker Pheasants. So 3 home doubleheaders in a row, and then the Blue Dragons have to travel to Sioux Valley for a doubleheader. That is the last doubleheader of the season, as that is the girls' last game of the season. However, the boys round out their schedule with Del Rapids. And welcome back to the Dragon's Lair for the second round of this doubleheader, where Garretson Blue Dragons are hosting the Beresford Watchdogs in the Dragon's Lair. Results of the first contest of the night, with the Lady Blue Dragons coming away with a 65-33 win over the visiting Beresford Watchdogs. We will see what happens here on the boys' side of things, as Garretson, currently sitting 7-8, is hosting the Beresford Watchdogs. Beresford sitting at 6-9, I believe, on the season. So pretty similar records once again. Just like the boys and girls, or just like the girls teams had similar records, Garretson did prove why they had one more record, now 2 more wins on their schedule than the Watchdogs, coming away with that decisive victory. Garretson kind of looking to do the same here. So, like I said, before going to break, Garretson hosts the doubleheader tonight and then has 2 more home doubleheaders against Elkton Lake Benton on Saturday and Parker on Tuesday, with finalizing the girls' schedule with a doubleheader at Sioux Valley on, I believe it's next Friday. However, the boys still have one more game left after that, and that would be their contest at Del Rapids.
Good evening. Welcome to Garretson tonight.
Getting ready to get started here. Beresford is going to try and get through Garretson right now, beating a conference opponent. So there's a little bit of extra bragging rights on the line. But following tonight's contest on Friday, the boys host Elk Point Jefferson in a doubleheader with their girls, and then follow it up on that next Tuesday at Lenox for a doubleheader. Then they finish their season with 2 more games, one being hosting Wagner, and then they finish their season at T. So some pretty tough teams still on their dockets. Few teams hovering around 500, like Garretson Blue Dragons and Elk Point Jefferson, and a few teams that are really solid, such as the Lenox Orioles and T Area Titans, who are going to cause a few issues for the Watchdogs. Right now they are just doing some announcing for the starting lineups here, back and forth. And I will have those to you here in just a moment.
At a guard, 5'11" junior, number 13, Sam Schleter. At a guard, a 6'1" senior, number 15, Dylan Gitt. And at a center, a 6'10" sophomore, number 23, Rhett Close. Assistant coaches are Corey Buckhouse and Jake Highmiller, head coach Tad Heitkamp. Officials for tonight's contest are Paul Ortman, Jason Sykes, and Steve Wall.
All right, looks like we are set to play some basketball here. Only about a half hour actually behind schedule. We are only about a half hour or so behind schedule, as the game was slated to start at about 7:30 or as soon as 7:45, as soon as they could. However, the girls' game did run a little bit long there. So the boys' game is getting going just a little bit later. Garretson did control that tip and is sitting here in their offensive set. 3 launched by Long, and he connects right away. Usually a good sign when Long is feeling that kind of connection with the hoop. Very prolific shooter. Is Cooper Long, so only good things can happen that way. Great block by Rhett Cloth there, and quickly pulling that ball back over to Garretson's direction. Starters for the Blue Dragons tonight: number 3, junior guard Cooper Long, stands at 6'3". Currently handling the ball right now, senior guard number 15 Dylan Kent, standing at 6'1". Also a 6'1" senior, Caden Ockengay. .5'11" junior Sam Schleter bears number 13 and has the ball right now. And then rounding out the Blue Dragons lineup is number 23, Rhett Cloth. 6'10 sophomore. Caden Ockengay gets an offensive rebound off of an errant shot by Sam Schlueter and is going to go ahead and go up to the free throw line to try and convert on these free passes. Kent makes his first. Settles in for a second, just one dribble. And then he releases a little off to the side. Beresford donning their black jerseys tonight with purple trim. Garretson in their home whites with 2 blue stripes going down the sides and along the seams. Long hustles down the court, gives it to Kent. Kent gives it back to Long. He misses, but Schlueter grabs the offensive rebound. Beautiful tip-in shot by Schlueter to have both the rebound and the 2 points in one fluid motion. Blue Dragons out to an early 6-2 lead, but we know how quickly things like that can change, especially early on. Number 3, Andrew Atwood, launches from the corner and doesn't convert. Long takes it coast to coast, hits for 2. Long already sitting at 5 points, just over 2 minutes into the game. Ockengay anticipates the pass, gets tied up with the Watchdogs. Kent comes away with it. Kent goes to Long. Long takes one dribble, one step, and goes in for the floater. If I were him, I probably would have taken a few more dribbles and done a hero step for a little bit easier layup shot. But Long, like I said, pretty talented shooter that I don't quite blame him on that choice. Starters for the Beresford Watchdogs. We do have sophomore guard standing at 6'1", Andrew Atwood. Also, you have 6'4" junior Tate Van Otterloo, number 4. Long pushes the issue, gets it over to Kent. Kent drives. Long looks to pass to Cloth. Pass just a little too high for Cloth, which tells you something when he's 6'10". Garretson is able to wrangle it in. Big skip pass over to Kent. Kent takes his time on the 3-point line. Drives it with his left hand. Cloth with an offensive rebound and 2-point putback. That prompts a timeout from Beresford Watchdog head coach Ben Short. Short not pleased with the defensive effort probably with his Watchdogs right now. So far they've had pretty good looks on the offense that just haven't fallen, and Garretson has connected pretty easily right now. But defensively just look about like a half second behind on a lot of things. So like I said, starting lineup for the Beresford Watchdogs: number 3, Andrew Atwood; number 4, Tate Van Otterloo, 6'4" junior; 5'10" senior, number 23, Peyton Peterson; 6'1" junior, number 30, Jake Gobslurch. I apologize, family members, I will try and figure that one out here by the end of the night. And number 35, a 6'4" senior, Ashton Jaden. Coming out of the timeout here by Coach Short, Beresford does control the ball and has to go the length of the court, but there is no pressure put on right now by the Garretson Blue Dragons. Garretson just settles into their 2-3 defense. Looking at that defense, Jaden, great move down the baseline, grabs the rebound or puts up the shot, but misses the backboard, forgetting like that nice little square in there that can help guide the ball and use it to their advantage. Cloth comes down with the rebound, and Garretson goes ahead and sets. Long 3 attempt by Long. Looked actually pretty good, just a little short, needs a little bit more leg muscle. Caden Ockengay came down with the offensive rebound as Garretson resets. Great pass by Ockengay to find an open Kent. 3-point attempt just off the mark. Atwood comes down with the rebound for the Watchdogs. Currently halfway through the first quarter, Garretson is up 10-2. Beresford grabbing that offensive rebound and going ahead and setting a second set here. Like I said, really striking black uniforms by the Beresford Watchdogs rather than going with that traditional purple, the dominant school color. As Van Otterloo takes it, offensive rebound comes down to the Blue Dragons. Pass goes a little bit too far by Schlueter, too long. Schlueter stutter steps and gets called for the travel. Ball goes in favor of the Watchdogs. A few just sloppy passes on both sides where I think we're just trying to push the issue a little bit too much and rushing through the game. I want to say thank you to my helper this time, I have my first grader, Coyer Buckles, who is sitting and trying to look up some different piece of information for me. Block by Cloth. Then Kent saves it, gives it back to Cloth. Kent now has it, passes it to Long. Long finds Schlueter along the baseline. They quickly close down on Schlueter with a two-person double. Schlueter finds Akingay to Long. Lots of big skip passes here. Good ball movement by the Blue Dragons as they keep Beresford on their toes. Akingay had a great look on the baseline. Just kind of short-armed it just a little bit. And Van Otterloo connects for his first 2 points of the game, doubling up Beresford's score 10-4. Kent takes it into the lane, battles for his own offensive rebound, tips it out to Schlueter. Schlueter dribbles it in, finds Long. Long going to kick it to Cloth, waiting for the big man to make a move. Cloth with a great turnaround jumper, but just strong off of the backside of that iron when he took that baseline look. Van Otterloo pushing the issue, and Cloth coming away with another rebound. However, Atwood gets the look. Atwood with the ball right now. Gage Lyle checking in for the Beresford Watchdogs, a 5'10 senior guard. Lyle handling it, pops at the free throw line. 4 seconds to shoot on the shot clock with a few players coming in here for the Blue Dragons. Number 33, junior Clay Lardy, 6'3" forward, and the other senior for the team, number 21, Isaiah Ganat, a 6'3" senior forward. So Garretson going 7 deep right now. Long ball. Long ball by Van Otterloo. And the refs are going to come together to discuss the shot clock. The ball goes up, hits the backboard, does not hit the rim. Shot clock did not reset after the 4 seconds. Beresford got the rebound and the putback, but the officials decided that that putback happened after the shot clock violation had occurred, so that basket does not count. But great effort by the Watchdogs. High school basketball does not have official replay scenarios, so that call is just going to have to stand. It's not like you can challenge it. It's not going to be overturned. Great save by Long as Long finds Cloth. Cloth over to Kent. Kent kind of brings that ball down. You don't want to bring the ball down that far down in the lane. Long grabs the floater for 2 to extend that lead 12-4, back up to 8 in favor of the Blue Dragons. Van Otterloo taking the ball up for Beresford. Find Lyle on the free throw line. Lyle gets a big man in the air. Maybe could have taken that shot. Atwood launches from 3. Rebound by Ganat. And Kent's going to take the ball up the court, take his time as he's listening to Coach Heitkamp kind of dictate that in the corner. Great looks by Ganat to feed the big man down low. But those passes are a little bit dangerous as Beresford is easily showing that they're able to get some hands on it. So we need to be smart with those passes and avoid some of the unnecessary turnovers. Cloth does find himself at the line, though. Definitely found himself being a little bit more aggressive toward the latter half of the season than now. Checking on for, than the way that he started. Checking on for the Beresford Watchdogs, number 23, Peyton Peterson comes back in. And then number 13, junior guard, 6'2", Cameron Wells, showing up for the Watchdogs. Cloth puts up his second shot and is good. Cloth with 4 points on the night, 2 for 2 from the charity stripe. Peterson pauses at the top of the key. Jaden takes a power dribble and then kicks it out over to Van Otterloo. Van Otterloo takes a great look from 3, but it goes in and out. Good passes by the Blue Dragons, back and forth. Long misses, but Isaiah Ganat there to wrap up that offensive rebound and get the 2-point putback. Just 8 seconds left in the game clock. Kent comes away with the steal. Kent goes over to Long. Long launches from 3 with like 3 points to go. Cloth needing to be careful as he definitely could have got himself an unnecessary foul on that rebound attempt. At the end of the first quarter, Garretson is up 16-4 over the Beresford Watchdogs. 12-point game right now. Scoring breakdown that I have so far is Ashton Jaden, senior, with 2 points. And then the other 2 points, I think, go to Andrew Atwood. I apologize if it is Van Otterloo on there. I was not able to check that as I was helping my extra little statistician here. For the Blue Dragon side, they tally up to 16 points early on in the night. And 7 of those points belong to junior guard Cooper Long, as he has hit from deep once and then connected from the field 2 other times for those 7 points. Rhett Cloth has put one down and then 2 for 2 at the charity stripe for 4 points. Isaiah Ganott and Sam Schleter both with really strong offensive rebounds and putbacks, getting 2 points apiece there. And then Dylan Kent connecting on 1 point for a free throw to tally up to those 16 points for the Blue Dragons. 16-4 at the start of the second. Looking to start for the Beresford Watchdogs, number 3, Andrew Atwood, number 13, Cameron Wells, 35, Ashton Jaden, number 23, Peyton Peterson, and number 4, Tate Van Otterloo. Starting for the Blue Dragons, we have number 3, Cooper Long, number 15, Dylan Kent, number 21, Isaiah Ganott, number 23, Rhett Cloth, and number 33, Clay Lardy. After a little bit of pressure on the inbounds, Atwood gets it, passes it over to Wells. Wells to Jaden at the top of the free throw line. Van Otterloo goes baseline and gets fouled in his attempt. Foul goes against Lardy as he maybe got a little bit too much body on it. Van Otterloo connects on his first. Dribbles once, twice, 3 times, and then puts it up with beautiful spin and sinks the second one. Kent takes it up for the Blue Dragons. Moving it around, passes it over to Long. Long finds Lardy down low, posting strong. Lardy tries to pass it to Cloth, and it gets messed up in the middle with lots of hands reaching in there, both from the Beresford Watchdogs and from the Garretson Blue Dragons. 3-point launch by Atwood is no good. Kent comes away with the rebound, passes it off to Long. Offensive rebound goes to Cloth. Cloth puts it up a little bit too strong as it rattles around the rim and falls out. Van Otterloo takes a look. Cloth aggressively taking that rebound. And it falls in favor of the Blue Dragons. Kent and Ganott playing back and forth. A little bit of bumping and shoving up on the top of the key there, but they're letting them play through that. Lardy to Long. Long finds Kent over at the top of the key. Still 12 seconds to go. Ball is stolen by the Beresford Watchdogs. Ball pass goes ahead over to Wells. Long tries to deflect the shot. Wells, I think, kind of anticipating a little bit of contact. Ball falls back in favor, so no harm, no foul on that turnover. Long shoots from 3 and hits. Coach Heitkamp calls a timeout for the Blue Dragons, looking to probably get subs into the game, and subs are also coming in for the Beresford Watchdogs. I think I saw junior Jake Goblersch. We're going to try that one the best. Jake Goblersch coming in, as well as number 33, senior Isaac Ward, checking in. Also checking in for the Blue Dragons, we have number 13, Sam Schleter, getting some time in. Score currently sitting at 19-6, middle of the second period. Timeout called by Coach Heitkamp, maybe trying to settle his troops down a little bit. There are a few missing passes. There's a few missed passes or missed opportunities that they could have connected on. However, I think he's just trying to get them to settle down, regroup, and just go, hey, these are the things that are working for us. Let's not get too far out of our wheelhouse, and let's focus on that defense again. Ben Short looking to still find a little bit more inspiration out of the the Watchdogs. Like I said, they've been taking good shots all night. They're just not falling for Beresford tonight, or at least not yet. So we'll have to see if that maybe happens here in the adjustment with this second quarter after this timeout, or maybe even at half. Atwood taking the ball up for the Watchdog, passes it over to Van Otterloo. Van Otterloo gives it back to Atwood and swings it across to Goblersch, who is sitting on the top of the free throw line. Beresford doing a great job moving back and forth. Goblersch tries to find Ward down low. Long lead pass to Long, who puts it up, misses the shot, but will find himself out on that free throw line as he definitely absorbs some of that body contact there. Checking on is Gage Lyle, coming off as Goblersch for the Watchdogs. Also quickly, we are getting Akingay on instead of Lardy, giving a breather and moving that around. Long did hit his first free throw, looking to connect on his second. And it goes in and out. Rebound falls in favor of the Watchdogs. Garretson kind of conceded that one. Van Otterloo takes the ball in the corner. Long looks for the steal on Atwood. Comes up just short. Lyle taking the ball. Swings it over to Wells in the corner. Wells back to Lyle up in the top. Lyle penetrates. Van Otterloo cuts to the baseline. And Van Otterloo connects from that baseline shot for two. That's Van Otterloo's 4th point of the night, scoring half of the points for the Watchdogs. Kent takes the ball up the court for the Blue Dragons. Passes it over to Long. A little bit of a 1-2 punch up there and allowing Akingay and Schlieder to flash while Cloth is battling down low. Great pass by Long to find Cloth down low for 2 points. Beresford getting set in their half-court offense. I need the computer at half. Ball gets swung around. Lyle has it in the deep corner. Lyle swings it around, curls from the free throw line corner. Beresford fighting for the rebound, but Kent comes away with it. Kent takes it coast to coast. Nice little small, sweet shot in there. Great job by that senior leader, Dylan Kent, for 2 points, and he's going to find himself for the chance to convert on that traditional three-point play at the charity stripe. Checking on for the Beresford Watchdogs, 35, Ashton Jaden, and number 23, Peyton Peterson. Also coming on for the Blue Dragons is Isaiah Gannat. Gannat checking in for Long. Looks like there has to be a little bit of an infection control right there or something with Long's wrist as he sits with trainer John Shape. Shape, thank you for your time here with the Blue Dragons tonight. Kent connects for one. Long gets taped up and quickly goes over to the bench to check in again. Cloth getting pegged for a foul. Been playing pretty aggressive all night, so not surprised that he's getting one now. I definitely know that Coach Short was in one of the officials' ears just saying, hey, you just watch this. I'm not going to tell you what to do or how to do your job, but just please be aware for this. Long back on. Gannat taking a seat. Peterson inbounding the ball for the Watchdogs, gives it right to Long. Long anticipating that pass beautifully, taking it to the left side, misses on that left side. Ball goes back to Beresford. So turnover ends up being no foul on that possession, but still doesn't feel good to give Garretson a free look at that possession. Jaden goes up, a little hook shot. Cloth grabbing the rebound. Passing it to Kent. Kent going over to Long. Long's going to stop and pop for 3 points right away, not using any of the shot clock on that. As Atwood also looks to suppress the issue as he finds Van Otterloo. Great hero step on that to get around Cloth. Akingay comes away with a big rebound for the Blue Dragons. Heitkamp telling his troops to just kind of slow it down, going, hey, we need to call something. We actually need to run an offense. It's not just run and gun the whole time here. Akingay swings it over to Schlieder in the corner. Schlieder finds it back to Akingay, who gives it back to Kent. Great anticipation by Van Otterloo as Van Otterloo connects for an easy 2 points. 25-10 now. as the Watchdogs find themselves now in double digits. Both teams pretty speedy and definitely can push the issue if they want to. Looks like Long's being pretty closely guarded. Cloth with a nice roll off of the screen. Good turn and look, but doesn't quite square up and ends up going a little bit long. Akingay battles for the rebound, but it comes down in favor of Gage Lyle and the Beresford Watchdogs. Atwood with the ball. Jaden takes it on the free throw line, finds Peterson down low. Great patience by Peterson. Cloth gathers in that the defensive rebound, gives it to Kent, and once again, we take their time going up the court for the Blue Dragons. Using 9 seconds of that 10 seconds in the backcourt. And then Long comes and pushes the issue, has a good look off of that little curl halfway down the free throw lane, but doesn't get it to fall as he kind of short arms that shot just a little bit. Van Otterloo faces off against Schlueter in that 2-3 zone. Now Long takes a look at it, misses everything. Akingay prepared for that rebound. Akingay been clutch on those rebounds tonight for the Blue Dragons, both on the offensive and the defensive side.
Cooper has 11 right now. 11 points.
2 minutes to play here for the Blue Dragons. Great feed by Cooper Long to a cutting Dylan Kint as Kint connects for another 2 points, bringing his total up to 6 on the night. Atwood telling the troops what to do, brings it over to Lyle. Lyle closely guarded by Schlueter up at the jump circle. Lyle finds Peterson. Peterson tries to swing it around, goes back over to Lyle. Lyle launches from 3, just a little bit long, and Akingay coming down once again with one of those rebounds. Kent taking his time, 35-second shot clock. You get 10 seconds in the backcourt, so plenty of time for something to happen. Minute and a half to play here in the first half of this contest where the Garretson Blue Dragons are hosting the Beresford Watchdogs. Van Otterloo tips the ball away from Kent, ends up being able to knock it off of him and causing the turnover. Few subs come into the game here, so I'll just give you a rundown of who we have on the court, as that might be easier because there was quite a few switches on both ends of it. Defensively, we have Cooper Long and Sam Schlueter up top in the 2-3 zone with Dylan Kent, Dylan Kent, Isaiah Gannat, and Clay Lardy down low for the Garretson Blue Dragon defense right now. Holding the ball, we have Peyton Peterson. Gage Lyle is flashing across the lane and hitting into that far corner now with the ball. Cameron Wells also streaks and follows that same pattern. You have Jake Gobler flashing into the lane, and then Austin Jaden to finish off with that big man in the middle. Peterson's shot attempt falls off of the rim, hitting both front and back, but not falling in. Kent tries to take the mismatch, gives it to Lardy. Lardy tries to go up strong and gets fouled on the attempt. Lardy with a good, confident move there to give his team a chance. It's nice to see so many different players for the Blue Dragons taking those shot attempts. I think literally everyone on the court or everyone that has seen action has at least put shots up, if not converted, in there, which is great to see. Ashton Jaden is going to go ahead and take a seat as number 45, Justin Worth, 6'2 junior, comes on. Lardy launches his free throw and connects. I have a new statistician here in the works with my first grader, Coyer Buckles, keeping track of steals and assists and rebounds to the best of his ability, but writing out that roster and getting everything set right now. Doing a great job to help me out. Big long pass by Wells to find Lyle in the corner. About 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Looks like it was deflected. Worth comes with that offensive rebound as the shot missed everything. Worth connects for 2. Kent presses the issue. There's 3 seconds left. Lots of time. Kent launches from long and hits a 3-pointer at the buzzer. To send Garretson into halftime with a 20-point lead, 32-12 to start this halftime set. 10 minutes here at halftime Great time for you to go ahead and get up, stretch your legs, grab something to eat, take a quick break, and we'll be back with you with a little bit of our halftime stats as to what we can compile, give you a look at what the team's rest of the season looks like, and then finish off the second half of this contest here in the Dragon's Lair. Thank you for staying tuned. Thank you for joining us here in the Dragon's Lair of Garretson, South Dakota, where at halftime you find the home team, Garretson Blue Dragons, up 32-12 over the visiting Beresford Watchdogs. Teams have fairly similar records, both just under 500 on their season and looking to finish strong, but both of them having some pretty tough competition to finish it off. Leading the way for the Beresford Watchdogs in the scoring column is number 4, Tate Van Otterloo. Van Otterloo coming up with half of the Watchdogs' points. Van Otterloo coming up with half of the Watchdogs' points as he has connected for 6 of the 12. Rounding out the scoring is sophomore guard Andrew Atwood with 2, senior forward Ashton Jaden with 2, and junior forward Justin Worth with 2 points. They're all rounding out for the 2. On the Garretson side of the ball, though, the 32 points is a nice output. Sometimes that's been a struggle for the Garretson offense early on in the season at least, but they seem to have found their stride as of late, especially playing well at the beginning of the month with the Big East Conference tournament, and that has just kind of catapulted them through January into this early February here. Garretson is paced right now by junior Cooper Long, who has connected twice from deep or at least twice from deep, but has 11 points on the night in this first half effort for the Blue Dragons. Also hitting it big for the Blue Dragons is Dylan Kint, senior guard, who has 9 points, including 3 points at the buzzer to take them into half. So definitely keeping the momentum on Garretson's side that way. So that's 20 of the 32 points for the Blue Dragons. Another 6 of those come from sophomore Rhett Cloth. Cloth having a big impact, especially early on in that first quarter. Tough guy to defend. As well as a tough guy to get around on defense. So Rhett Cloth being able to put back 6 points there. And then hitting 2 points on offensive rebounds were Sam Schlueter and Isaiah Gannat. And then Clay Lardy connected for both of his free throws, sitting at 2 points as well. So that kind of rounds out the scoring for the Blue Dragons. And this quarter 2 score, end of the quarter 2 score, is a perfect double. Oh, I'm sorry, it is not a perfect double up of the first quarter score. First quarter was 16-4, so a 12-point lead for the Blue Dragons. Garretson was able to extend that now to 20 points here in the second quarter and look to continue that momentum here in the second half. Both Garretson and Beresford have a few tough games left on their schedule to round out their season. And I'll pull those up for you in just a second. Garretson, I know, has to play Elkton Lake Benton on Saturday, Parker then the next Tuesday, and then they finish off their season against Sioux Valley and Del Rapids, both really strong teams in either the conference or their region. Beresford, on the other hand, has to finish their season with a back and forth matchup as they are here at Garretson tonight. And then they will be home twice, once against Elk Point Jefferson, a solid 6-10 team. But then, I'm sorry, that looks like the girls basketball there. But they do play Elk Point Jefferson, as that is the that is a doubleheader that night. I apologize. I'm just waiting for my computer to load here to try and get you in the right direction. So like I said, the Beresford Watchdogs have to round out their season here against Elk Point Jefferson, a 9-6 team, and then go to Lennox, and the Lennox Orioles are 14-2. Garretson did have to play Lennox earlier in the season. They played them in the Hoop City Classic, formerly known as the Mike Miller Classic, and Garretson struggled against a really potent three-point shooting team. Not going to say it's reminiscent of like a Golden State Warriors three-point shooting, but I mean, they were not missing from beyond the arc very often, I feel like. So Lennox definitely a strong team, and they've been able to do a great job all season keeping that momentum up. So Lennox 14-2. Then once again, they come back home versus Wagner, who is 4-10, have struggled a little bit this year. But then they go to T, and T always is a tough place to play, especially play basketball. And T is a 10-5 team right now. So a tough schedule to end. Lots of really good teams here for the Blue Dragon, or for the Beresford Watchdogs. We've got about a minute to play here before we go to the half, so I'm going to just take a quick break, grab a drink of water, and then I'll be back to call the second half of action of Garretson hosting the Beresford Watchdogs. All right, here we are resuming back to action. Just trying to get that camera set for you guys. Here, Garretson come away with the ball out of the timeout per the jump ball policy. Feed into Rhett, Cloth down low, and Cloth is immediately fouled. Like I said, he's a pretty tough presence to contend with if you don't have the size to match it. And Cloth has kind of settled into a little bit more aggressive role this season. Not afraid to kind of use his body, maybe muscle up a little bit more. Cloth misses his first free throw. Settles in for a second one here. Cloth puts it up and sinks his second free throw. That is Cloth's 7th point of the night. Caden Ockengate comes away with the steal. Passes it off to Long. Long finds Kent across half court. Defense of the Watchdogs is already there. Kent explodes past the defender. Misses the shot. Cloth goes ahead and grabs that offensive rebound and another 2 points for a putback. Cloth up to 9 points on the night. Cloth is up to 9 points on the night. Ball's in possession of Van Otterloo. Van Otterloo tries to find Goblersh down low. Kent anticipates the pass, weaves his way through traffic, and converts for another 2 points. Boys moving the ball at a pretty quick pace. Pass was deflected by Sam Schlueter. Kent comes away with it, decides to pull it out a little bit, finds Long over. Long swings it over to Schlueter. Schlueter's at the top of the key, tries to make something happen, goes into traffic, and is denied by Jaden. Loose ball comes away with the Beresford Watchdogs and Andrew Atwood as Atwood finds Peyton Peterson over in the corner. Peterson uses just a few dribbles and then swings it over to Van Otterloo. Van Otterloo pops for three off of the back of the iron. Ockengate comes away with that rebound. Quick pace here to start the game. Great pass by Long to find Kent, who is streaking in. That prompts a timeout by Ben Short, head coach of the Beresford Watchdogs. Long working kind of on both parts of the ball right there, finding not only his offensive prowess by being a shooter, but also the great passes. He's had a few of those tonight, which have been fun to see. So far, right now, we have Cooper Long with 11 points for the Garretson Blue Dragons. Sam Schlueter has 2 points for the Blue Dragons. Kent has been on fire starting the second half and has already converted for 4 points from where he was started with. So now he is up to 13. Isaiah Gannat has 2 points. Rhett Cloth with 9, and then Clay Lardy with 2. Teams break from that 30-second timeout. Atwood takes the ball as Lyle gives it to him from that inbounds. Lyle relocates on the three-point line, takes a few dribbles, swings it over to Atwood. Atwood to Wells. Wells launches from the deep corner. Ball kind of caroms off of the backboard awkwardly and kind of takes a few people by surprise, including the Beresford Watchdogs, who are ready for that offensive rebound. Ball falls in favor of the Garretson Blue Dragons. Kent going to trigger it. Looking to give it to Long. Long back to Kent. Not worried too much about the pressure. Going back and forth. Athletic move by Kent as he finds Ockengate. Ockengate over to Schlueter. Great pass by Caden Ockengate. And a good flash by Sam Schlueter in order to convert for those 2 points. The guys playing really well in transition right now and seeing each other across the court. Steal by Dylan Kent. Dylan Kent goes coast to coast, but there's a block by Atwood. Long gets the offensive rebound. Goes up, and Schlueter comes away with it, but does get fouled. Foul is on the floor. Yep. Dylan Kent already with 2 steals in this second half here. Long launches from 3 and misses everything from that baseline angle and then gets a sloppy foul. Maybe one that's a little bit out of frustration because he felt like maybe something happened and just didn't play. Maybe not his best. Coach Heitkamp going to go ahead and give him a breather as Isaiah Gannat checks on for the Blue Dragons. 2.5 minutes down into the third quarter. Garretson has already pushed their lead by an extra 9 points. And the Beresford Watchdogs still sitting at 12. which is the score that they went into the half with. Ball is swung around the arc, back and forth between the guards. Van Otterloo pops out, closely guarded by Gnat. Ockengay and Schlieder getting their workout as they're moving across the top of that 2-3 zone. Just about 6 seconds left. Van Otterloo weaves all the way through and finds a nice open lane and connects for 2 points. Ball's being passed back and forth on that Beresford Watchdog press between Ockengay and Kent. Kent takes a look all the way in, unable to finish, but he will go to the free throw line. Kent going to go ahead and settle in as Cloth and Gnat fill in the middle lane spaces. Isaac Ward, Gage Lyle, Tate Van Otterloo, and Cameron Wells occupy the spaces for the Watchdogs. Long checks back in. Gnat comes off. In the backcourt is Andrew Atwood for the Beresford Watchdogs and Sam Schlieder and Caden Ockengay for the Garretson Blue Dragons. Pretty much going to concede the free throw. Kent misses, ends up getting his own, and then goes ahead and goes back to the line again. Kent now with 14 points on the night and gets himself a few more free looks at a basket. That was just a lapse by the Beresford Watchdog. Kent connects for his 15th point of the night. Jake Goblersh comes on as Cameron Wells takes a seat. Kent dribbles once, shoots and hits. Beresford kind of feeling the pressure. Kent comes away with a steal. Finds Long. Long tries to finish it, but just goes just off the inside of the iron, but Long will find himself on there. I am being told by my first grader that Kent has at least 3 steals already this quarter, which is a great output and one of the reasons why the Blue Dragons have been able to put up 12 points already this quarter compared to Beresford's 2. Long takes a breath here. 2 dribbles, releases, and hits. Nothing but net for Long. Coming back on for the Beresford Watchdogs is number 35, Ashton Jaden. Also coming on for the Blue Dragons is number 33, Clay Lardy. Long launches a second. It goes in and out. Rebound goes to Goblersh. Goblersh is hounded by Sam Schlieder. Kent with another steal, picking it away, reading the defense perfectly. Gets the bucket and the foul. So Dylan gets the steal and 2 points. Now he's going to go to the line 4-1. See if he can finish off this traditional 3-point play on the push. 1 dribble and it goes off the back iron. Ball goes to Jaden. Lyle pushes the issue, finds Atwood down low. Big block by Cloth, but Cloth loses where the ball was at. Out of bounds, stays Watchdog possession. Currently scores 47-14 in favor of the Garretson Blue Dragons, which is a running clock situation until the ball gets within 20. Schlieder able to come away with a strip. Behind the back pass by Kent, looking a little bit fancy here. High off the glass is Long. And Beresford comes away with the rebound, and Atwood takes it coast to coast for 2 points. That's Atwood's first scoring since the first quarter. Schlieder drives baseline, finds Cloth sitting at the free throw line. Cloth drops it down low to Lardy, who gives it right back to Cloth. Ball just short on Cloth's shot attempt. Atwood hounded by Schlieder. Atwood finds Lyle, gives it back to Atwood. Atwood launches for 3, misses. 2 Garretson kids wrestle for the rebound and ends up falling in Beresford's favor. Lack of communication there, and it makes him pay as Lyle hits for 3. Score 47-19, 28-point game. Good cut by Kent and good feed by Long in order to finish, pushing that lead back to 30 here. Lyle takes the ball up for the Beresford Watchdogs. Shot by Jaden off the mark. Battle for the rebound. Comes away. Schleter tries to grab the ball and is tripped up by Lyle on that little outlet. Checking into the game right now is number 21, Isaiah Gannat, back on the court. And number 4, Dylan Justin, seeing his first action of the game. Sorry, Gannat will be checking in for Schleter. Schleter having to shoot the 1-and-1 bonus. Schleter gets the roll. And they'll settle in for one more. Part of that good fundamental basketball of making sure that you hit that first free throw to give yourself a shot at the second one. And Schleter does connect, and Gannat comes in, and Schleter's able to go ahead and grab a drink. Minute 36 to play in the third quarter. On the court for the Blue Dragons is Long, Akingay, Jessen, Lardy, and Gannat. On the court for the Watchdogs is Lyle, Atwood, Gobblers, Jaden, and Isaiah Richards, looking to see some early action in this game. Richards launches from 3. It goes in and out. Gobblers with a great rebound, blocked from behind by Long. Jaden gets the offensive rebound and then is fouled by number 21, Isaiah Gannat. Jaden is going to go ahead and go to the free throw line. Puts up his first, and it rattles in. Those are his first points of this half. Jaden sitting at 3 right now, but an opportunity to put it to 4 as he gets another free throw here. In and out with lots of spin on it. Gannat comes down with the rebound. Long is going to take it up court for the final minute of play. It is a 35-second shot clock, so there should be at least 2 possessions, if maybe not 3, depending on how early Garretson decides to trigger it. Great lob by Long to Lardy. Lardy finds a body in front of him, but is able to still keep hold of that ball and puts it through the net for 2 points. That's Lardy's first 2 points of this half as well. And first 2 points in action. His other 2 points came on free throws. There is no shot clock right now as it was out of possession. Long is just holding it up at the top of the key, not closely guarded, so not too worried about it. Ball poked away by the Beresford Watchdogs. Akingay finds Lardy. Lardy launches with 4 seconds left on the clock, goes off of the rim. Jaden grabs the rebound, looks at Van Otterloo. Van Otterloo releases, hits off the rim, but I'm pretty sure that shot wouldn't have counted anyway as it was after the buzzer. At the end of the third quarter, Garretson Blue Dragons lead the Beresford Watchdogs 53-20. 53-20. Scoring for the Beresford Watchdogs right now, it looks like Tate Van Otterloo with 8. 4 points goes to Andrew Atwood. 3 points apiece for Gage Lyle and Ashton Jaden, and 2 points to Justin Worth. Dylan Kint is leading the way for the Garretson Blue Dragons with 20 points on the night. He was only sitting at 9 points at halftime, so he has converted for 11 points tonight. And so 11 points in that third quarter, and that was 11 out of the 21 points that Garretson scored in that third quarter. Also with strong scoring outputs tonight is Cooper Long. Cooper Long has 12 points on the night, with Rhett Cloth having 9. Rounding it out is Sam Schleter with 6, Clay Lardy with 4, and Isaiah Gannat with 2. Beresford is going to go ahead and start with the ball here in the final quarter of play. Ball deflected by Sam Schleter, but Van Otterloo wrangles that in.
Mom, did Sam do the block? Yeah?
No, because it was a pass, not a shot. Peterson finds Goblersh down low. Goblersh over to Jaden. Ball blocked by Rhett Cloth, though. Caden Ockengate comes away with the ball. Ockengate passes it over to Kent, and Kent brings it up without issue as Beresford decided to hang back. Another good pass by Long. He's been seeing the court well. Cloth knew it was right there, kind of bobbled it, went off of his knee and out of bounds. Ball goes back to Beresford. Peterson running into a little bit of defensive pressure as Long and Schlueter joined on him at the top. He finds Atwood, but gives it back to Peterson, over to Goblersh, and then Atwood has to wrangle in a big wide pass far from that free throw line. Schlueter comes away with the steal. Big long lead pass to Long. Long up with the 2 points. 2 points by Long. Great lead pass by Schlueter. Kind of a defensive menace for other teams. He has had his hands on balls all season long and able to make things work. Great athletic move by Jaden for his 4th and 5th points of the night. As Garretson settles into a half-court offensive set. Long puts up 2, falls off. Schlueter saves. Tries to save the ball. It looks like he just hit his toe on the line. Ball will come back to Beresford. Cooper Long taking a seat with 13 points right now. Coming on for the Blue Dragons. Isaiah Gannat is back in. Ball is out of bounds on the shot attempt by the Beresford Watchdogs. Coach Heitkamp yelling at his boys to not just settle for that ball going out of bounds. Actually just go grab the rebound, keep it moving here. Stay aggressive. Coach Short kind of saying the same thing, saying, hey, give us a chance, keep playing hard. Van Otterloo steals that ball away from Schlueter. I think Schlueter is getting pinged with, Schlueter is getting pinged with the foul. Got a hold on Van Otterloo, prevented him from moving forward. Jessen checks back on for the Garretson Blue Dragons. Ockengay is sitting right now. Looks like Heitkamp is getting ready with 5 minutes left in play to change up that squad just a little bit. Schlueter pokes the ball away from Atwood. Takes it up, tries to get that free throw or tries to get the layup, but instead just leaves it a little bit short and leaves it up to the officials to call that foul, and then they get Schlueter at the line. I am seeing coming back into the building are some of the Garretson wrestlers, which is awesome to see. Garretson Wrestling was in Del Rapids. Garretson Wrestling was in Del Rapids today for a quad. Del Rapids with a pretty tough wrestling squad, and I think O'Gorman might have also been at that one. Schlueter connects on both of his free throws, puts himself at 8 points on the night. I'll see if I can find any results from that here in just a moment, but right now we are still right in the middle of action. Atwood has the ball in that corner. Matthew Gilbert did check on during those free throws by Schlueter. Matthew Gilbert is a 5'8" junior guard for the Blue Dragons. Rebound by Gannat, finds Lardy as the outlet, and then Schlueter is now taking it up the court for the Blue Dragons. Schlueter gets it knocked away by Van Otterloo, and Gage Lyle comes away with it and takes it coast to coast for another 2 points on the night. Schlueter finds Lardy over here in the corner, and then Garretson looks like they're pretty patient right now with the ball, not in any rush. They're using up the shot clock. 4 minutes left, half of the fourth quarter gone. Schlueter is tightly guarded by Van Otterloo, though. Not giving him any steps. Gannat, good aggressive move. Great look by it, but just comes short with it as Jaden saves the ball and gives it off to Lyle. Lyle finds Goblersh in the corner. Jaden looks for cutting Van Otterloo. Van Otterloo goes up, hard off the glass, gets his own rebound, goes up and is fouled in the process. Foul goes against Clay Lardy. I believe that's his second of the night. Van Otterloo's going to go to the line. Looks like there is a lineup of athletes to check in on both sides of the bench as well. As Van Otterloo releases his first, it's halfway in and then has to come back out. Lots of spin on that one. Checking on for the Blue Dragons. And I'll just give you the rundown of the Blue Dragons lineup. This looks very different from the way that we started the game, as all of the primary players for the Blue Dragon bench are now, or for the Blue Dragon basketball team are now on the bench. And some of these gentlemen who don't see quite as much varsity action, but definitely a strong JV team, are coming in to round out this final 3:27 of play. So for the Blue Dragons, you have number 24, Tyler Edmondson. He will be inbounding the ball to number 20, Blaine Trower. Trower and Edmondson are both sophomores, marked at 6 feet on the roster. Ball goes to number 4, Dylan Jessen, a 5'11 junior. Sitting at the top of the key right now is number 10, Ian Buettner. He is a 5'10 freshman. Buettner puts up the ball. Great look at it. Matthew Gilbert, the 5'8 junior, comes away with the rebound, giving Garretson another try. Trower has the ball, has it stripped away from him by number 32, Tommy Cordell, a 6-foot senior. And gets fouled on the way. Cordell does go to the charity line. And it looks like somebody got poked in the mouth and might be bleeding a little bit. So number 21, Isaiah Richards, is allowed to come on as the infection control needs to happen. So shooting right now is, like I said, 6-foot senior Tommy Cordell. He'll go in for 2 shots. Number 33, 6'2 senior Isaac Ward is also on, as well as number 12, 6'2 senior Max Orr. Rounding out the squad in the backcourt is number 21, 6-foot senior Isaiah Richards, and number 34, Mason Heiberger, a 6'4 junior. Richards launches from 3, just off the mark, but offensive rebound goes to Heiberger. Richards takes another look. Orr launched the first one. Richards took that second look. Neither of them falling. Ball goes in favor of the Blue Dragons. Edmondson inbounds it to Trower, and Trower takes it up the court for the Blue Dragons. Trower passes it off to Buettner. Buettner waits for that flash to come in, or giving him the space. Edmondson takes it up at the top of the key, closely guarded by Cordell, though. Jessen goes over to Gilbert. Gilbert wastes one dribble. Would have liked to see him actually go somewhere with that dribble, or at least hold on to it. Jessen with a little bit of crossover move, trying to find some gaps. Does a little bit of a hook shot and gets 2 points to fall. 2 points for Dylan Jessen, his first 2 points of the night. Max Orr penetrates into the lane and flips it out to Richards. Richards passes it over to Cordell, and Cordell gets fouled. Clock continues to run as we are past that 30-point mark, where it is a running clock. Justin Worth checks in for Isaiah Richards. Richards takes a seat. Ball inbounded by Worth to Cordell. Cordell over to Heiberger. Heiberger swings it back over to Cordell on the top of the key. Cordell with a nice bounce pass over to Worth. Worth with a good move over on that backboard. Gilbert comes away with the rebound. Garretson in no rush as the clock goes under 1 minute. Great cut by Buettner and a beautiful pass by Edmondson, but would like to see them finish that. I think that was one of those we're a little surprised at how open we were. Edmondson gets knotted up with one of the watchdogs. Ball does fall in favor of the Blue Dragons per possession arrow with the jump ball. Trower triggers it into Buettner. Buettner takes a few dribbles, gives it over to Edmondson. Edmondson gets it stripped by Orr, or stripped, and then Orr takes it, and Orr is going to go coast to coast and lays it in for 2 points. Trower's just going to get it across the line. Cordell does continue to kind of hound him, so you do have a 5-second count that you need to be aware of. So the boys needed to be close to that. Gilbert holds onto the ball, and that is the end of the game, 59-27 for the Garretson Blue Dragons. Good luck to the Beresford Watchdogs as they round out their season with a few games left here. I think they have 4 games left, and Garretson has 4 games left as well on their schedule. But a 32-point victory for the home team, and that is capped off as the girls also came away with a 32-point victory in their game as well. Big thank you to Mr. Kevin Steckler, who was our managing supervisor tonight here in the Dragon's Lair. Thank you, Kurt Stoltenberg, for being our official shot clock operator, Carrie Stoltenberg for being official book, and then Bob Bennett for being the official timer. Big thank you to Calix Buckles for being my photographer tonight, so I was able to be up here with you guys and give you a little bit more insight into the game. Thank you to my statistician during the girls' game, Colton Buckles, during the boys' game, Coyer Buckles, as well as those Buckles boys during their time running the camera. So much appreciated with their help during these contests. The Garretson Blue Dragons are back in action on Saturday here in the Dragon's Lair, taking on the Elkton Lake Benton Elks in a double header. It is an afternoon matinee with the girls JV starting at noon, boys JV at 1, girls varsity probably at about 2:15 or so, and then the boys varsity to follow, guessing around probably 3:45. So that is it for tonight on your beautiful February evening. Congratulations to the Garretson Blue Dragons on their varsity victories tonight. Good luck, Beresford Watchdogs, on the rest of your season and finishing out that conference strong. So for the Garretson Blue Dragons here in the Dragon's Lair, this has been Kelsey Buckles, and have a wonderful evening.